This is the first segment in our leadership training series. We put this together based on our last several years of training and organizing. I think we joined EOS we started probably like 6 or 7 years ago, self-implementing. And we did that for about a year and a half. And then we hired a regular implementer, which I believe was a lot more efficient. But a lot of the stuff comes from, in this series, will come from EOS. And then a lot of the stuff will be more real estate related. So this one is a lot to do with what we learned in EOS.
And Ryan, back it up just a second. Let's explain just a little bit more about what EOS is, just for anybody that isn't familiar.
Sure. Yeah, EOS is entrepreneurial operating system, and basically it's a framework for how companies should do business. And it's not a software. It's basically teachings and structure on how to run a business. And it's based off of a lot of different things, but a lot of it has to do with what Fortune 500 companies do, and the way they structure their meetings, the way they do their org chart, the way they do everything else in when running a company.
And I've put the books that are associated with this operational structure in the chat, a link to the book.
So this will be a 6-part series, and session 1, mission statement and core values. Number 2 is agent training that actually works. We'll go over how to set up a training system for agents and how to implement that. Number 3 will be the right tech stack without overcomplicating it. I have paid pretty much everyone, and I've generated my own technology, and we'll go through the pros and cons of both, and what you can do easily and what you can do if you have a bigger budget. So ancillary services that drive profit and retention. Obviously, ancillary services are collecting money from other parts of the deal, like insurance and title and mortgage. Goal setting for leaders and agents. This is very important. We do a quarterly meeting where we set up quarterly goals, and then we do a 1-year goal and a 3-year goal. So every quarter when we do our EOS L10 or our half-day meeting, we revisit the goals for that quarter, and then we set up the goals for the next quarter, and we look at our 1-year vision and our 3-year vision. So that will be session 5, and finally session 6 will be accountability, and that's how to be accountable within your leadership and how to set up accountability for your agents. So I'm Ryan Rudenbeck. I am the CEO and founder of Spyglass Realty. And of course, we got John McCarthy. He's our director of sales. And then Sonny Tracy is our director of operations. So mission statement and core values. We're going to discuss how you craft that mission statement, how you define the core values that guide hiring decisions and accountability, and then creating the alignment that compounds over time. And I'll get over why it's so important to do this. So first of all, we're going to talk about the mission statement. This is from the book Good to Great. It's called the hedgehog concept. And what they found is, if you look at the book Good to Great, it's an amazing book. They study the Fortune 500 companies, and the great companies were the companies that lasted over time, right? And an example of a good company versus a great company, like a good company was Chrysler, where they had Lee Iacocca, who was a celebrity CEO, and when he left, the company kind of faltered after that. A great company would be something like Wells Fargo, that's been around for hundreds of years. And so in that book, they study, there were only 8 companies, I believe, that they considered great, and they studied the common characteristics, and all of them had what they called a hedgehog concept, and that's a single purpose for what they want to accomplish. And then this is the 3 circles. So it's, what are you deeply passionate about? What is your economic drive engine? And what can you be the best in the world at? Our economic drive engine is selling homes. We are passionate about helping people, improve their business. And what can we be the best in the world about is getting good people. Okay, we're really good at attracting good people. So where these three circles intersect is the hedgehog concept, and we use this to craft our mission statement. Our mission statement is it started as optimal agent output. If we look at the way these three things intersect, it's optimal agent productivity and output. Okay, we took that and we made our mission statement. We make good agents into great agents, and that's how we.
One more thing on this, just as a practical tool in working through it. Take each of these. If this is an exercise you want to try with your organization, take each of these questions and do a big brain dump on each one. I remember when we did this. I mean, we took an hour with each of these sections at least. I can't remember, guys, but we took a whole day workshopping just this one thing. And we spent a lot of time on each one of these things going, throwing out all the ideas and, what some of us thought was the thing we were most passionate about, then realized, wait a minute, no, it's that thing that he said. So working this through as a leadership team, needs to be really collaborative, and everybody being open-minded to everyone else's ideas, I think really gets you the best output in a mission statement. It can be really easy to want to, you've got your idea and you're kind of stuck on it, or, this coming from one person in an organization, I wouldn't see being that successful. I think it really needs to be a group of people that come together. You really brain dump a bunch of ideas on a wall, literally or figuratively, however.
Well, and we're going to talk about that in core values. Okay.
Right. We work through the same process with the mission statement. So Yeah.
So I do want to say one thing though, is before we went through this exercise, we had mission statement and core values, and I went to a conference or attended one virtually. And I remember the person that was speaking was like, how many people in the room have core values and mission statements? And the whole entire room raised their hand. How many people can tell me what they are right now without looking into your phone? And I was one of those people. Okay. We had them. We even had it framed. I couldn't tell you what it is. Okay. And that it was a mission statement. I don't remember what it was. And the core values were like 10 or 12, whatever, that I don't know what they were. We just made up. That was a result of me putting something together just to have it. So
I want to leave it on there for a minute.
Yeah.
So, and what Sonny said, what we did here, first of all, we had our org chart. And we had, Ryan is the visionary. We had Sonny at ops. We had me at sales. We had our marketing team. And we all had things that we knew our department was good at. We learned that we are a really good content creation company. We learned we're a really good training company. We're like, wow, we can attract the right people. So this made us more aware of things that we learned that we're good at. And that's where our hedgehog concept is. Okay, we put all these things together from all these departments and our core values with the right people. We can arrive at optimal agent production. That just didn't sound good as a mission statement. So good, we can make good agents into great agents. That's where all of these meet right in the middle, where it intersects. So a combination of all of our departments and feedback. And if you don't have a big team, if it's just you or you have one other person, well, find someone else maybe in your brokerage or other people that you may trust on how to help business build, and get some ideas from them to put some things in place. We have our 3 circles committee, which we'll talk about. Is there some advisors within our organization that help us with some of these decisions that we make, on a bigger scale?
Yep. All right. So your mission statement should be short and concise, clear and easy to understand, action-oriented and inspiring, focus on the present and the what and the how, and derived from the company's core purpose, right? And here's the mission statements that fail. They're too long or too wordy. They're not derived from company's practical purpose. They don't target the correct audience. Okay. And one of the things we realized is, like, as we were a growing company, when we were 15 agents, we were consumer focused, right? And we still are. Like, everything we do is for the consumer, but when we're a big company with almost 200 agents, the only way to instill those core values that serve the consumer is to have the core values that are instilled to the team and the company. All right, I'll let Johnny take this one.
Okay, so this is actually an exercise that we did as a leadership team while we were in one of our EOS installments, quarterly meetings with actually a consultant that helped us with this. And same thing with your mission statement. This is an exercise that you want to plan several hours, and however we operate well with, big Post-it boards, which work really well for us. I mean, literally rewrote the whole business and all of our departments all around the company so that we could recognize what is it about this business that makes us successful. And we realized, well, it's the people of our organization make us successful. And then if you can couple in, technology and some training and some resources and tools and things like that. And then we started so what we learned how to do was to find all of the traits of the agents within our team. So the exercise so defining terms that keep you on track for your mission. So as we had our mission statement, we're like, okay, now how do we make sure that we can make it very simple for all of our agents to know what our core values are, what we stand for, and make sure that we're aligned. So basically what you do as an exercise, and you're going to need either yourself, if it's just by yourself, you're going to spend some time, and what is it about you, what you offer, or the people in your company. You audit everybody in your organization first. And who is this? And what are the defining characteristics or the qualities or the tasks? What do they do? And imagine this. So we had, I think, 4 or 5 of us in one room, and our task was for each one of us to write 5. We had these 12-inch by 12-inch Post-its, bright color, pink and yellow and orange and green. We all had a different color, and we all had to write as many characteristics as we could, a minimum of 5. And we stuck them all around the room. So all around the room was this beautiful mosaic of the wonderful qualities of our company. That alone was enough to make you fall in love with our company, just to see that. So let's take 40 of these traits and characteristics, and we had to narrow them down to 4 to 5, something palatable that you can really get behind and everybody can get behind and build your mantra, right? So that's what we did. We took all these things, high-spirited and, kind and good-hearted and integrity and all the things that you can imagine. And what we learned was integrity is not a core value. Integrity is something that you should be doing every single day. You wake up, you should be acting with integrity every single day. Companies that have integrity as their core value, they're pretty just shallow. They're not really thinking through, like, you should be, what does it mean being integrity? One of our core values is do the right thing, right? So if someone's standing in front of me and say, are you someone that stands with integrity or not? Well, I don't know. Let's talk about this. But if they're standing in front of us and we're like, did you do the right thing? The scenario that you were up against, did you act right? What is the right thing that you could have done? Could you have gotten help? Things like that. So it's the way that we can hire and fire, and the way that we onboard people and talk about and demonstrate our core values. We can let people know, our agents know right away when they onboard, if we don't align and they don't do these things, exemplify our core values, they're not going to be a good fit with us.
Yeah, let me say something real quick about the process, because I think the process is really interesting. Was that, on this wall we had 40 to 50 characteristics, and then our implementer guided us and said, I think we came up with like 7 or 8. Like, we whittled them down to 7 or 8, and he was like, that's too many, right? Mm-hmm. And it is too many. So I mean, this process took a long time. It was very interesting. It was actually
almost the whole day.
It took the whole day. It was great though. We came down to 4 of them. So,
and we duked it out over the last 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Man, we were there. We were passionate about this one. Somebody else was super passionate about this one. And we tried to find a way to bring them together or reword to, really embody what we all kind of felt and meant. So it was an amazing exercise.
And that's just the beginning.
2021, I believe, end of 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
And we all still talk about it and remember it vividly today.
Oh, and we're going to talk about that, because what's really, Johnny's going to go through some of that too. But what's really important is not just making these things, but instilling them. So and making sure that they're a part of your environment, a part of your culture forever.
Yeah. And we're not saying go out there if you have core values and you've done something that's meaningful and put that on paper and that you're trying to push that to resonate with the team. We're not saying go scratch your core values and start over. Look at what your core values are now, and are they as clear and concise as they can be, so that you can put this up in your office and someone can walk by it and know exactly what you stand for without having to read 4 sentences about it. We'll show you a video, and because the thing is, like, for your team and what you stand for is a short is a nice, beautiful picture of what you stand for. Then we have defining characteristics. We have a whole video that we're going to watch about core values that our team watches upon onboarding. And these are all things that help integrate core values into the company and resonate through the company. So here are some things that we do. And it's wonderful because we just moved offices, and it's great to see these things that going up in the office. But you want constant reminders of your mission statement and core values everywhere. You want to know this is what you stand for every single day. Posters in the office. We have our listing signs. Instead of it saying Spyglass Realty, for sale, it's got our core values on there. Do the right thing. We've got 4 of those around the office. The video explanation. We have each member of our leadership team with a few different sentences about each one of our core values. We're going to watch that here in a few minutes.
That's in onboarding, by the way.
That's in onboarding. It's the very first video that they watch in onboarding is all about the company and who we are and what we're doing. Shout out awards for each core value. We do a team huddle every Tuesday morning at 10:30 in the morning. We have close to 70 agents on there, and it's growing every single day. And every Tuesday morning, I post out in Slack to the team, and I ask for core value shout outs. If they've experienced anyone on our team exemplifying our core values, we want to know about it. We have core value shout outs every single day from our, of course, our agents get and give core value shout outs to each other. Our transaction department gets core value shout outs. Our internal lender gets core value shout outs. Our leadership team gets core value shout outs, each for a very specific core value.
Just real quick about that. I just want to say that like Johnny put that together. I don't even know if I realized that was happening, but like it was very impressive, and it's still impressive. We do it every single week, and it's a constant. I think that's probably the biggest installation of our core values is the core value shout outs.
Agreed. Yeah. And Johnny kind of like was the brainchild on this, and it is wildly successful. I will say it's been the most successful implementation of our core values. And everybody explains it. Like they literally message Johnny and say, I want to give out a core value shout out to John for being all in because he XYZ. Like they'll say what, and so it's like they're actually thinking through how they were all in, how they did the right thing, which is really, they're internalizing these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have 70 agents on a video, and maybe we'll have 4 to 7 core value shout outs, all demonstrating how someone else on our team helped another agent get to where they wanted to be.
Yep.
And one agent may be giving a core value shout out to 3 or 4 people because they're going out of town and they're busy and they've tapped into a lot of other people. So we're very resourceful as a company when it comes to our core value shout outs as well. And then we have our annual awards for our core values. So every year we do our Realty Hack Summit, and we poll our agents and ask them who they feel should win each one of our core values, and we give them one of the biggest trophies that we award each year, which is amazing. And that's the production awards, you're going to get, if you hit it 5 million or 10 million or 20 million, you're going to get that. And that's not as emotional. The core value awards, that really hits their hearts. Like people are crying over core value awards. Like, oh my goodness, like the company really feels like I was the person for this core value. And that's even bigger, right? Yep. We never thought we would have touched agents like that for our core values, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want to say something here that I learned through Ryan and through John Sheplack, through coaching and onboarding agents and setting the expectations when they're onboarding, what the experience is going to be like for them within the company, and that you're aligned, and being able to say to them, if you embody these core values and we're aligned, you're going to like it here and we're going to like you here. But if you don't embody our core values and you're not aligned with our core values or our mission statement and you're not all in, you don't do these things, you're not really going to like it here. We're going to recognize that, and we're not really going to like you here either. And you're probably better off somewhere else, right? So being able to have that conversation up front really sets the stage of expectations. Look, here's the standard. You either hold up to the standard or you don't. And it's very easy for us. We've been doing this for years now, and like recognizing the right people is really hard until you start recognizing the people that are in your company. You interview with somebody like, oh gosh, we've got 180 or so agents in our company that we have pretty defining characteristics that are going to be successful with our organization. That person doesn't fit the mold just from this first interview. We can tell very quickly because we've been doing this over and over and over and over, looking at the same principles over and over and over and over. So this really helps us make hard decisions. Our decisions that we're faced with sometimes daily, right? So it makes us be non-emotional when it comes to making hard decisions.
Yep.
It's here's is, does this align or does it not? Yes or no? It's pretty unanimous. Okay, there's a hard decision made.
If we have a personnel problem, we will literally, like our core values are be all in, be smart, do the right thing, and take action. Okay. And if we have a personnel problem, we will literally go, they're not taking action, they're not all in, and they're not doing the right thing. Right. And so that's, I mean, we go back to that whenever there's a problem to solve.
For sure. And it helps you also too, because, you know, it's really easy to make a people choice based on like right and wrong. Did this person steal money? Yes, fire them. No, don't. Did this person do something like, you know, like blatantly black and white, right and wrong? This helps you kind of, you know, sift through those gray things where it's not really a right and wrong issue, but was it smart? Was it somebody taking action? Right. You know, like it's not always black and white. It's not always a right and wrong issue. Sometimes people just aren't a good fit. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean they're a bad agent. It doesn't, you know, necessarily mean they did something wrong. They might just not be fitting well with our systems, with our process, whatever it is. And so you kind of like sift through the things that are just gray.
Yeah, I'll give you an example of one that comes up fairly regularly. Sometimes we'll have an agent that leaves and they're leaving. We haven't seen them in months. They're not growing from our system, right? They're not showing up to stuff. That's an all-in core value. And that's what we say. Like, look, we're not going to fire someone because they don't show up for a few meetings. Okay. But like, we don't feel bad about it. We don't feel bad about where you want to do that. Okay. We don't feel bad about that person leaving because like they weren't all in, even despite we have outreach to our agents. We try to get them all in. So, yeah.
And then, okay, the next part on this, as far as like driving business decisions, is really important too. We do the same thing when we're talking about something non-people oriented. You got something, you know, you're talking about a new piece of technology. You're talking about, you know, integrating with a business partner, something like that. These same core values can help you align and make good choices in, you know, in those business decisions. Is this investment in a piece of technology going to help our agents be smart, take action, be all in, do the right thing? So it goes beyond, it helps a lot with the people part of things. It can really help with everything.
Yep. Okay.
So this is another exercise that we were tasked to do with our implementer early on. And this was hard, actually, that he said, okay, what does it mean to be a real estate agent at your company? What does it mean to be successful at your company? It's not, okay, if they embody your core values, okay, that's good. But what is their defining role? You know, what do they have to understand about what they need to do and how they need to show up? You know, how's that going to affect their business? So he said, give me 5 one-liners about what defines the role of an agent in your organization. I said, okay. Here we go. Embody Spyglass Realty core values. And now this is these little exercises are all in onboarding. Every agent onboards with me and I go through it. Our core values, our mission statement, our agent role defined, and I'll show you our flywheel next. So embody Spyglass Realty core values. That's almost a given. We talk about that. It's the heart and soul of how we operate. Lead generation and conversion. The business has got to come from somewhere. Learning the tools, the tech, how to communicate, convert that into business. Continuous training and improving your skills so that you're the best trusted real estate advisor, working with your buyers and sellers, taking out the sales aspect of it so that you can educate your clients as much as possible and have them making decisions that were really hard because you're educating them and you're not forcing them to go buy a home and you're not selling them on who you are. You're demonstrating your value. And that's going to help build your business based off of the relationships that you're creating. So this is what I go through it a little bit more detail. I talk to the agents a little bit more about it, but this is what I go through. I go through the core values. I go through the mission statement. I go through this agent role defined. I go through the flywheel and I say, great, here it is. If you feel that we're aligned, you're going to like it here. If you go 90 days and you don't align with these things, we're going to tell, and you're not going to be doing much business, and we're going to feel it, and you're going to feel it, and you probably just go somewhere else, right? And it's easy to have that conversation. So when that conversation comes up in 6 months or 9 months and they haven't done any transactions, like, okay, that's fine. Go ahead. We talked about it. You didn't do anything. It's not on me. It's on you. And that helps us sleep at night.
Yeah.
Right. So when you have all that put together, you're plugging people in. This is big picture now. And I'd say we almost made like one modification along the way. at the top, attract and retain great agents. That would make it really easy for us. If everybody that came to us was a seasoned agent that was really great, it would make our lives really easy. Well, the adjustment that we know that we made was if we can attract the right people, if we can attract a good person, our core values, our mission statement, if we get everything else that we have in place, if the right person with the right characteristics can come in and plug themselves into our company and exemplify our core values, we can help them automate their business. We can help them increase their volume. It's going to increase our company brand, our volume, our brand and our volume as a company. Everything that we do is promote our agents. Our agents are our clients, as well as buyers and sellers of clients of our agents. So the more business that we can do, elevate our brands, the more referrals we're going to receive. We as a brokerage want to receive referrals for real estate agents coming to our brokerage. Our agents are the number one source for agents to join our company. And our agents, we want to have more buyers and seller clients. So by feeding into our flywheel, you're exemplifying our core values, knowing what we stand for with our mission statement, knowing how we operate, and plugging yourself into our flywheel. This is the order of operations, and this is why we're successful. And we just need the right people to plug right in.
And then I'll go to the next one. Okay, so here's our mission statement. Make good agents into great agents. Core values, this is the 4 that we went through all day and came up with. Be smart, be all in, do the right thing, and take action. Simple, 4 of them. And we don't ever really feel the need to add or subtract anything from here. So next we're going to show you the video. What, 2 minutes long?
And I think wait a minute, before you play the video, Ryan, I do think it's important to be able to, your core values are going to be short and concise. And sometimes, I do think it's important that everybody, especially within your leadership team, can explain it to people. And you'll see in the video, that's kind of what we're doing. It's a short few minute video that doesn't take a second, but what does it mean to be all in? Let us tell you. What does it mean to take action? What does that look like here? What does it look like to be smart? Is it book smart? Does it mean you have a bunch of, letters and what do they call them? Designations and stuff like that. Some of these things can look different everywhere you or depending on what you is that video should work if you just play it in the presentation. But anyway, I wanted to say that real quick. Just about go to slideshow.
Yeah, we're just switching computer share to Ryan here.
Okay.
Our mission is simple: to make good agents into great agents.
We want to take agents that have learned the basics, had success in other industries, that are good workers and good hustlers,
and provide them with the tools, the training, the support, and the culture to become great agents.
The good agent has to embody and believe in certain things as a starting point, a bar to be a success at Spyglass Realty.
At Spyglass Realty, we have 4 core values that we believe are essential to become a great agent.
These core values are important to us because they give guidance and guardrails to our growth journey as a company.
This sounds easy. Heck, we have contracts in place that tell us we have to do the right thing, but we want people that are doing the right thing all the time.
Good citizens that care about their community, and good mentors and peers to everyone from other agents at other brokerages to everyone else in the industry.
We are dedicated to the commitment of this brokerage doing good things all the time.
And since we are a company that is literally built of people, that takes everyone being committed to doing the right thing all the time.
Our most successful agents are the ones that are all in on our systems and support, all in on their peers, all in on their business.
Being all in can be hard. This business is hard.
But it's your business, and Spyglass is all in on the business with you.
And to level up your business, you have to be all in with us too.
There's a lot of responsibilities that weighs on the shoulders of real estate agents. So we want to make sure that the agents in Spyglass Realty have a certain understanding of common sense when they're out there in the world.
We're not talking higher education or professional designations. We're talking the smarts that can't be taught.
Smart learners, smart thinkers, smart problem solvers.
Our industry has a very low bar to entry. This is our way of upping that bar and giving our agents a community of peers that they can lean on for growth and development. Being given the tools, training, support, all the things doesn't make you great.
taking action is the one thing that people can do only for themselves.
Picking up the phone and making the calls, employing the marketing campaigns, doing the open houses, no one else can do that for you.
We provide the templates, the tools, and support like no other brokerage in town. Only you can take action on those things and make them get to work for you.
We believe in these core values passionately. We develop them very thoughtfully, and they truly represent the agents at Spyglass Realty.
All right.
Side note, real quick, I had an agent come up to us at the Realty Hack Summit and say that we should redo that video only because we've all had a big glow up since then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's nice.
it's been about 4 or 5 years. I definitely have had some more Botox since then.
Yeah. Okay. So this is basically how it works. You know, we the 3 circles, we have put together a 3 circles committee, okay, where we have a group of agents of all different types of expertise, and we will share with them any questions we might have, if we have feedback on a certain product that we might be wanting to use. If we just, you know, it's more like a customer or an agent advisory board, right? And we try to meet quarterly, and it's a good, and also the agents really enjoy being part of these decision making. For sure.
And, you know, it's kind of, it tends to be pretty obvious who these kind of people should be. You know, they're people that do business. They're people that participate enough to know what we offer and what we have. You know, the person that nobody knows that's never come to anything. While we've tried like engaging them and come, but they're not going to come to this either. So it's like, it needs to be the people that maybe aren't at everything, but care enough to know kind of what you got going on, are doing enough business to know what practice. I mean, somebody that's done 1 deal a year for the past 5 years is not going to have just enough business sense to even really, you know, have any good input.
Yeah.
But so.
Okay. You know, we got Q&A. If anybody has any questions on here, let me know. The next one will be Thursday on April 9th at 9 p.m. We will have
Thursday, April 9th at 2 p.m.
All right, 2 p.m. And so that webinar is primarily going to be with Johnny, and Kyle will probably take a big part of that too, because they're the ones that train our agents. And, you know, we're going to show you the schedules we put together, the topics we put together. We're going to show you how we handle agents that are on our leads program, but they may not be performing as well. We've been doing agent training for many years now. It's been very successful, and it works really, really well. So, and then also we're going to talk about what kind of training you want to do for the agents that aren't taking leads. Okay. That's come up an awful lot, and it's important to have a mix for agents that take leads and agents that don't take leads. We want our agents to be on top of everything. Anybody have any questions?
Adam, what you think?
That was great. Yeah, I mean, the one thing I was thinking of that Johnny kind of touched on was, so you have this solidified from all those meetings. You go, all right, these are our core values. This is everything. This is our guiding light. Have you made any changes along the way? Or I guess, how do you remain confident that what you came up with, you're like, oh, nailed it the first time, or do we need to adjust this as we move along?
I think we nailed it the first time. And the reason we nailed it the first time is because we took a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like a knee-jerk reaction, or, you know.
And I don't know that we could have gotten there without, like I said, we worked with this guy who was, you know, somewhat of our implementer, and man, he pushed against us kind of on everything we were passionate about, which really helped. I mean, had we not had somebody there to be like, are you sure you like that? Are you sure that's the right idea? Are you sure? Like, I mean, before we could settle, he never let us just say, this is what we want, and this is great, and we love it. And he was never like, cool. He was like, why do you love it? Are you sure that's what you love? Would you like this better? Does anybody else like anything different? Somebody to really like probe, ask questions, any kind of third party. I mean, you know.
Yeah. And I think what Sonny's saying is like, what I would say is, I don't think you necessarily needed an implementer to do this. No. We like we're explaining this very well. Okay. But we didn't have anybody explaining this to us before. but you go into a war room and you spend, and carve out at minimum 2 hours for mission statement and core values, right? And I think we spent way more than that. I don't think we came up with our core values. I don't know if you remember, Sonny, but I think it was a different day, right?
And yes, and Adam, if that's like, we'd be happy to offer a coaching, or we can talk to you about a coaching session or anybody that would be interested in that on helping you work through this exercise.
That's right.
Yeah, I would love that. I was Rolodexing in my head. Okay, who do I know that I can bounce these? And if it's you guys, that's the ultimate.
Sure. And then, for anybody that's watching this, please get in touch with us. We have a Realty Hack Academy. The subscription to that is very affordable. It has all of our trainings for our agents. I'd recommend, if you're interested in learning how to train agents, then you can literally set up a training session and watch the videos in the middle of that training session. Stop, ask questions like, what do you think about Johnny's training on this? So that's something that we do offer. Contact us. This is going to be on YouTube and other channels. So I think that's it for today, and hopefully we'll see everyone on Thursday, April 9th at 2 p.m. for our next training session.
Thank you guys so much. That was super helpful.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Cody.